What is the real reason for the warhead, my lord?
The purpose of the warhead is only not to clean up and destroy evidence, but if you take a look at the stipulation, the Predestar, the Derelicts, Derosis, Zakar, and the drones from even more extensive damage, all of them in this field. If the warhead destroys everyone here, then all of our problems facing not only the Ministry but the entire regime will be solved and ended. But if either Zakar or the Derelicts figure out a way to stop the warhead from impact, then our problems are worse than feared. I want to see what will happen. Either way, I will gain what I estimate.
Adam, what the?
What? I was just trying to make him tick.
Fine, now you got me to talk. Ow.
We've located the nerd. What's your name?
Baxter McIntyre.
Are you a 5429 class?
No, I'm a 3891 class. You're familiar with the timing nerds?
Timing nerds are units consisting of young nerds the regime and the Boogeyman Association use to position a time coordination overseen by human nerds such as yourself. Basically, the purpose of a timing nerd is to have everything timed. Some timing nerds detonate bombs, or use time to conduct events and situations in your favors. Sound familiar enough?
Incredible.
Who are your family members?
My family once ran the McIntyre Tech Company back on Earth.
A lot of you nerds are descendants of the old Earth tech billionaires.
Accurate. Now they have us stationed in places like these.
This is a bomb shelter. Are you a doomsday prepper?
Doomsday prepper isn't the word. I've been living in this bomb shelter for so long, I've become Doomsday itself.
What do you mean?
As a timing nerd, my job is to ensure that the toys in the attic are functioning correctly. Without even AI sometimes. At first, I had no clue how the toys in the attic would be controlled from down here. But the clues became clear. Then they became my whole life. And now the toys in the attic are now at my mercy.
Toys in the attic. That's your reference code.
This shelter is my living room. The upper outside is my attic. Everything above inside are my toys.
You mean everyone?
Perhaps. But I supply the people with items and resources for them to use. As I follow Dramingo's orders, I've made the outside the very hungry addiction to every candy everyone sees.
And those people are now candy. And those candies are now toys.
Accurate. 10 points for you, sir. And they are now my toys.
Down here?
Oh no. I didn't always live down here, but as I got used to it, I practically raised myself down here. I was born in a hospital. I got separated from my family on purpose, as the tech billionaires and their prodigies were to be seized when humanity arrived on this world. I was one of the lucky ones. However, I was raised in a foster home. Snubius Larazian and Dramingo allowed me to wander, but for their own agenda.
Such as...
They were testing my patience, as well as my prejudice, challenging both of them. I lost the duel, in the form of being bullied, being afraid, not doing nothing at all, strolling through neighborhoods of decay only to find myself face down on the ground for being kind, passing through rich, pristine yuppie events of celebrity riches, only to be beat to a pulp, only to be wedgied from a tree covered in toilet paper, where the only way I could get down was to fall to a garbage dumpster, with nasty smelly trash to secure my fall. No matter after all of my strife. Well, the offense ministry assumed I was ready enough. was educated of my family tree. After my abduction by the offense ministry up until now, my job is to harvest the clone labs, plant and time nerds to sabotage the economic state.
What do you mean, the economic state?
As Jarmingo instilled, my past regrets and defeats were used as trauma to motivate my curse. And my curse was to install an HT processor. It's known as a think tank. I believe to my calculations you all know of it.
Somewhat.
Well, judging by who or what I'm looking at, I don't see people. I see blur and assorted colors. That's an impressive chemical agent device to conceal your identities. The same ones used in the think tank exercise. That processor you all destroyed was designed for such like me to pump chemicals into the atmosphere from this cloning facility, to manually manipulate the polarities, stressing sentient organic life into depression, both emotionally and economically. My task was to install intentional violent situations, only 3. The rest small few will follow.
Then everyone.
Accurate. Using experimental clones to incite these situations would allow attention to be diverted over to a reality in distress, which would be the perfect time to direct and draw out mercenaries under the Boogeyman Association to commit crimes, and the perfect opportunity to smuggle the next level in tech executive expertise and leagues of officials to compete their enterprises in the most extraordinary duel known to primitive organic life.
How does the Battleground Ministry play into all of this?
Oh, why, they are just merely little pawns in my scheme. Of course I've had prejudices myself, but the best way for me to express them was to capitalize, not kill with my bare hands. I wouldn't even know how physically, but they weren't the only puppets. My toys in the act are broad diversity, and that is why multi-dimensions are better than one. The best place to start was to reduce labor companies by raising the prices on all products. The more expensive things become,
the more people won't buy anything anymore.
The more business declines,
the more easier it is for managements to lay their employees off, leaving them with no income.
The more people don't have any money,
the more people can't pay for their resources,
robbing them of their hope, robbing them of their dignity. Praetorian police, legalities, federals, ministrations equals ministry. To supervise impoverished ghettos, overseeing the residents of color commence their self-destruction, extracting their standing last ones, exploiting the shame, depression, and intentional moral deprivation of white males and females, only to further the offense ministry's agenda, to convert them all into relentless authoritarian enforcements. All of those methods, actions, terrors, and crimes form simultaneously for the perfect weapon to use against the enemies of the United Centrist theocratic regime. This field above us, where my toys in the attic reside. The plan is to finish where the old Earth left off.
What do you mean?
Houses such as these are not trustworthy. At this time, banks are ordered to foreclose on homes simultaneously, seizing the properties, renting them out, selling them out, until enough assurances are made to tear them down to build luxurious skyscraper facilities. The purpose of the apartments is to assure safety of authority and our residents. Large houses are too complicated to inspect. In light of recent attacks from Zakat terrorists, prison facilities conduct cell inspections for contraband every morning before inmates have breakfast. What we want is a consensual inspection for luxurious residents, to prevent sedition, resistance, militancy against industrial federal corporate property. Apartments are easier to inspect, and it's hard to hide any sort of harmful material from surveillance that monitors any sort of negligence. The condensed size of an apartment unit can distort the organic mind, like solitary confinement can. The first way to achieve this isolation is
gentrification. Do it the hard way, meaning the self-destruction of the people of color is a great training manual on how to learn how to do it the easy way eventually. You little shithead, man, I swear!
You are accurate, my brother from another mother. Once the gentrification process is complete, we can expand the entire metropolitan skyscraper blueprint throughout all sectors, lands, No fields, the ultimate metropolitan vision of the future. In our faces will be completed in 20 years.